Hey, hello guys. Paul Apollonia, top rated power seller on eBay. Let's go over some of the items I've sold from May 2nd, 2018 to May 13th, 2018. My niche is parting out items, almost anything, appliances, anything I can find to part out, anything I can find for free to part out is wonderful, but I'll pay a little bit of money for stuff. One of my things I used to do was small engine repair, so I guess my big niche is really small engine stuff, lawnmowers, other power equipment, trimmers, stuff like that. No riding mowers, nothing big, don't have room for that in my house. So let's get started here. This is a very old item I had in my store. This is actually a very, very old blower. It actually sat in my store for quite a while. I'm thinking about a year. Notice, the pictures are good. I try and do it on white backgrounds when I can. I always make sure I take a picture of the part number, model numbers of each tubes there. Excuse the music here, I'm in Starbucks. And then I always make sure that I take a picture of the tag on the piece of equipment, what it is, so people know what it is. So it wasn't a big sale, $13, maybe $9 on this, but it was free. It took me 2 seconds to pull it off of the blower and list it. So that was good. Let's go to the next one. Like I said, this is a selected items. This is not everything that I've sold. Here we have this was my own personal Virgin Mobile hotspot that I used a couple years ago. Thought it was a great deal. Come to find out I was paying more using this thing than I was if I would just use my hotspot and go over my data. But lesson learned. Paid a lot more than $10 for it. Put a lot more than $10 into it with data, but hey, the battery went bad on me. It was sitting in my desk drawer for a couple of years. I guess the battery died out, so I just blew it out. Didn't make much money on it, maybe $9. But hey, it was sitting in the drawer, not doing anything. I was honest with the listing. Let's scroll down and see. I put all the other specifics in there, which is really important. eBay and Google loves this stuff. Again, excuse the noise. I'm at the coffee shop. So I make sure that, I described it pretty good and what I thought was wrong with it. Very important to do that. Keep your description short because people are on their mobile devices buying stuff. Let's go to the next one. Another small engine part. This is an ignition coil out of a trimmer. Takes me about 20 minutes to part all the parts out of these trimmers. I actually have a whole bunch of these sitting in my garage from when I was doing small engine repair. I was going to fix them and resell them, but they're just not worth to resell. It's much more profitable to part them out. Like I said, it takes me about 20 minutes to part these parts out. So this is one of many parts. I usually take out the ignition coil, flywheel, the recoil if it works, and just some other few parts that I know what sells. And I look at the other one. I look at the other parts on the item and see if they're good or not, if they'll sell. If not, they get thrown right in the trash, to be honest with you. I really try not to save things like, oh, this may sell someday, and it never does. So this was a pretty quick sale. You notice I have more than one listed. I always make sure that I say it's not responsible for item not fitting, and I also say I have multiple coils in the listing. So the one you see may not be the one you get. Just cover yourself by doing that. That's just a little something I do. Again, item specifics are in there. There it is. I have multiple coils in this listing, so the one you get may not be the one you see may not be the one you get. Sorry. So that was a pretty good sale. I love doing parts, to be honest with you. Really, really love it. And I do a lot of consignment too. They seem like they're my two niches. Consignment can be a little interesting. Just if you're going to do it, just take your time doing it. Get good people. And that is the hardest part. That's the biggest struggle, getting good people. Here we got another. I sold one of these in my last video. I think I sold 2 of these this time. Ceiling fan arms, blade arms. I had one of these returned a long time ago. Just make sure you describe it properly. Make sure you have measurements of everything. You may get one or two of these returned, excuse me, but I paid nothing for the ceiling fan. I think I may even have found it on the side of the road. I'm not sure, but I know I didn't pay anything for it. So I've sold 4 of these already. Yes, there you go. I sold 4 of these already, so 4 times 12. So not bad for taking all of 5 minutes to take these blade arms off. I did sell the blades themselves. I sold them as a set. I think I got $15 for the set. They ship real easy. I just wrapped them in cardboard. Well, I folded them in cardboard and then put them in a plastic envelope, 2 plastic envelopes, end to end, and shipped them like that. I probably didn't make a whole lot of money on them, maybe made $10 on them. But again, like I said, it took me no time at all. You can do this stuff watching TV if that's your thing. So notice how I've got tons and tons of pictures of the measurements. Very important. I've even seen people, and I've done it in the past, where I don't know why this isn't working here, where they take this and they trace out on a piece of paper this whole thing on graph paper, and then they have the distance here, in the graph paper. Like this would be like 2 inches or whatever. This would be 5 inches, 7 inches, whatever. So that's helpful too, because that only is one picture you have to have at the end of your listing. So that was a good one. Another small engine part, a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower pull cord. Briggs & Stratton lawnmower pull cord. I sell quite a few of these. I don't make a ton of money on these. This one I have a sale on just to get them out of here. It's just taking up a lot of room. I got boxes and boxes of these. They sell well some parts of the year, and then they sit around the rest of the year. But sold quite a few of these already this year, maybe 6 or 7 of them. Like I said, it takes me 2 seconds to take them off. 3 bolts, 1 here, 1 there, 1 there. Maybe not 3 seconds, maybe 20 seconds to take it all apart and maybe clean it. I make sure I take pictures of the underneath. Each side these things have different configurations on the sides for different things, different carburetors. Make sure you take pictures of those. Nice blurry picture, I know. I've said this before 1,000 times, I also take a picture of this with the pull cord extended a little bit, so the dogs are sticking out. Yeah, these are called dogs, like the dogs you have as pets. It's a industry thing. And then I also show what the cord looks like, pulled out a little bit, so people know that they're getting a decent cord. And I also show the model number of what engine it comes off of. And I have all this in my description and my specifications. So that was a pretty decent sale. Like I said, most of my sales are between $10 and $20. There are those golden sales that I get every once in a while, but it's all volume and it's fine. I am fine with that. I know a lot of people don't think it's a waste, but it takes me all of 5, maybe 3 minutes to maybe pack and ship out something, and just that much to list it. So it's okay for me. I'm good. Here's a consignment item. Here's a consignment item. I have sold a lot of these for this person. This is a good friend of mine. We were clearing out his parents' house, the estate, and his parents collected a lot of stuff. So I've sold probably 6 or 7 of these grates. I've actually discounted this one. The guy offered me a best offer. I think I wanted $45 for this. It was sitting in the store for a little bit, so I figured, what the heck, just get it out of here. I more than made it up on shipping. I think it only cost me $9.99 to ship it to him. And like I said, lots of measurements. So that's key. Stuff like that. And I made sure it says, this is dirty and rusty, will need to be wire brushed and sanded and painted. So people know. I know it sounds sort of redundant and stupid, but protect yourself by doing that. So, sorry for the banging. Must be cleaning something at the coffee shop. This is a really cool item. This is the second one I've sold. It's an obsolete item. I cannot get any more than what I got for it, unfortunately. You would think since it's obsolete, you can market to whatever you want. No, people won't buy it. I tried this at 35, tried it at 25. I've sold this is the second one I've sold for $15 plus shipping, so I did pretty good with that. This is a piece all over the blower. You have to take the whole blower apart to get to this. This took me about a half an hour, but I probably made $150 to $200 off the parts from this blower alone. So that was well worth it. This is obviously a gas tank off of a Poolin hand blower. Yellow, you've seen them at the big box stores. Yellow hand blower. They are they're not almost, they are throwaways when they break. These blowers have about a 50-hour life cycle, which really isn't that much. So what I do is people give them to me, and I say, "Ooh, thank you," and I part them out. These can sit in my store for a long time, 6 months, 7 months, a year, whatever. I just keep them in a box, mark them with the item number, and I just pull them out when I sell them. So it's no big deal. Don't make a lot of money off of this, but it's a quick sale. It's first class mail. I think it cost me like $3.25 to ship this to this gentleman, and he was happy. He was actually very close to my house. And no, I do not hand deliver things. I do not do local pickups. I know many sellers believe in hand delivering stuff. Hey, we all run our businesses our own way. Whatever floats your boat. I don't like doing that. I'm not looking to be friends with my buyers. I'm looking to keep them happy by getting them their item as quickly as possible. Hey, here's another small engine item. This is a cover to a John Deere push mower. I bought this mower for $30, and I sold the transmission for $85, and I sold other pieces off of it. So I've done very well with this mower. This part went first class, but right on the edge of weight in first class, it went 16 ounces. How I got around it, it was over 16 when I boxed it up. I found this big roll of plastic in the FedEx dumpster about a year ago, and I wrapped it in that plastic. It's white plastic. I wrapped it pretty good, and then I weighed it, and it was still over 16 ounces. I went, darn. So I unwrapped it, cut some plastic off until I got it to be 16 ounces. The gentleman got it. He was thrilled. He was in Texas, thrilled he got it. Arrived in one piece. Obviously, these are pretty hard to break. You probably could just, if you were allowed to, probably just stick a label on there, ship it, and it would get there and fine without any scratches. But that's one way I got that thing under first class. Or at first class mail. I was worried. It wasn't going to happen, but I got it to work. Okay, this is a engine off of a Red Max, a very high-end, very good trimmer. The problem with this engine was it is beat to all heck. It is missing the grommet there for the gas tank, for the hoses from the carburetor. It is just beat to all heck. It's a shame. Somebody gave me this a couple years ago. I'll be honest with you, I actually forgot about it. It was laying in my pile that I keep covered in my backyard, and I just saw it a couple weeks ago, and I was going to part it out, but it was pretty beat up. But I took all kinds of angles of the engine, as you can see. Stuff like this. Just look how worn it is. You can't even see what the engine model number is. I got as close as I could. I looked it up. I Googled it, and I figured it was that engine number I put in there. This piece right here, this pull cord, I could have easily gotten almost that port, $21, $22, but it's so beat up and worn out that I didn't want to take a chance. As you can see, I put parts are not working, engine does not run. And look at the description. Let's come down here so I can show you. I put as much information here again. Engine does not run. Looks like it was heavily used. Engine spins my hand, but feels like something is catching. Something is stuck. When I was spinning it, it felt like something was stuck in there. Selling his parts only, does not run. So he got it a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard anything back, so I'm assuming he is thrilled with the engine. Okay, I did a video on these a couple weeks ago. This is a perfect item I like to show my students in my classes. Yes, I also teach eBay 101, small group, and classroom, and large group too. We're going to throw these away. We upgraded our mixer after 35 years. Yeah, we're a little slow on things. We're super frugal. And saw these, and let me see what they go for on eBay. Pulled them off, listed them, sold them within a day. They went first class. So I made about $12 on these. They were just sitting around. I was going to throw them away. The mixer part was shot. So I didn't want to try and sell that. We were having issues with it. So I included some stuff from the mixer so they know what they came from. So that was a pretty good sale. Nice quick sale. That's what I like. Another trimmer part. These don't go for a lot of money. I probably made $8 off of these, but to take all the parts off the trimmer takes me about 15-20 minutes, and from parts alone I can make well over $100. So it all comes out in the end. A very, very old gas tank off of a push mower. I saw these. I actually have a few of these in a box in my garage. And I tried to sell them years ago and they weren't selling. And I actually saw they were still out there on eBay, sold. But boy, they went for nothing. $5.99 plus shipping. I think it cost me $7 to ship it. So I didn't make too much money on this, but it was a quick ship. I found a box, 12 by 10 by 8, I think. It slipped right in. Didn't even need no packing material. I used my box sizer tool, trimmed the box down, folded it over, and it was out of here. So it was a quick sale, but I didn't make too much money on it. Oh well, but it's out of here. And that's the way I look at things sometimes. Now these gas tanks, they used to sell like hotcakes. Last year before, I don't know if it's something I'm doing or the market's saturated or what, but I would park these out and I would list them and they would be gone within hours. This year they are sitting around forever. But I did sell this one, obviously. Like I said, they always sell. I always take a picture of all the angles. Take a picture of what the inside of the gas cap looks like so they know if it has this piece or it doesn't. I also try and take a picture of the inside of the gas tank so they see it's clean using my flash. One of the rare times I use a flash on photos with eBay so I can get in there and see what it looks like. And obviously I clean the tank too beforehand to make sure it's all clean. So not a bad sale. Made maybe $16, $17 on that quick ship. Right in the box, same thing as the last gas tank. Box size it, box size it tool. Use my box sizer tool. I have a video on that if you look in my YouTube channel on how to use the box sizer tool. They're really cool. And throw the box size the box down, and really don't even need any packing material. Just it sneaks right in there, and it ain't going to get damaged. A lot more items here to go. Sorry, going a little slow today for some reason. This is another consignment item, helping a woman clear out a storage unit downtown Raleigh. Pulled out things I knew would sell. The rest I said get rid of. I just don't have time to go through every little tiny thing anymore. So I just pulled some of the gems out. Yeah, funny. I asked my wife, "Do you want this?" She said, "No." I said, "Okay, great, no problem." So I listed it, sold it within a week. Um, did pretty good with it, $54. So I get half of that. So I make like $25 off of this deal. Was it a quick ship? I just had to wrap each of these individually. I guess it was. I made sure that I took pictures of what it was, the speeds. Oh, sorry, the speeds it has. I made sure I stated what you see is what you get because I have no idea if everything is there or not. So the person got it, I guess, a week ago. I haven't heard anything back. I'm assuming everything is good. Consignment is a huge part of my business. It's about 50-50. I do 50% consignment, 50% my own stuff, combined with the training. I like consignment. A lot of people don't like it. The whole key to consignment is find good clients that aren't attached to their items. And you go in saying, I sell things at market value, meaning right here, this turbo immersion stick could go for $54.99 today. 2 weeks from now, it might go for $15. I don't know. I sell stuff to get rid of stuff to make money. So as long as you're upfront with that with them, you should be good. And if they're not good with that, then just move on to somebody else. Again, sorry for the noise. And here at the coffee shop, this is a oddball item off of a Lawn Boy lawnmower. It holds the bag, and the rear bag clips onto this thing. I don't sell too many of these. These hang around forever. This has probably been in my store for well over a year. I sold one a long time ago. Quick ship, I just put it in a big plastic envelope. I really didn't even wrap it that much because it's really not going to get damaged. Oh, I'm sorry. I wrapped this and that with bubble wrap to make sure it wouldn't poke through the bag, the plastic envelope. And that was about it. So I did okay with that. Shipping was way under $7.99. Actually, I think that went first class. So that was good. Ta-da! Yet another fan blade arm. I told you I sell these, sometimes in bunches for the week, and sometimes they hang around for a while. Excuse me, definitely worth listing. So, sold another one of those. Another consignment item, a heat gun. Same lady, made half of that, listed it, sold it pretty quick, pretty easy sale. I took as many pictures as I could. I knew it worked. I tested it out. I turned it on. I didn't actually use it because I don't know how to use a heat gun, but I showed what you get. And they got this a couple weeks ago, I guess about 2 weeks ago, and they're thrilled. So that was a good sale. I know I've said this before. I'm selling a lot of these things. These are the covers on top of the lawnmower. Seems like I'm selling a lot of Craftsman. This exact one, 6.75 or 6.50 horsepower one. And this one even has damage to it. I've said it before. What I do here is very simple. I take these two screws out, Phillips screws, clean it up the best I can. It says the top silver part is faded. Refer to photo number 2. So let me show you what I did. There's one. Notice, close-up angled to show the worst of how it looks angled. If I did it right from the top, it doesn't look so bad from the top. But when I looked at it from the angle, it looks worse. I want to make sure they see the worst of it, so there's no question. So when I look at it from the top, it looks good. Not trickery, just being honest. I want to make sure that the buyer knows they're getting something that is faded. So these go first class, and you can squeeze them into one of your eBay envelopes, which I can normally do. What I do is I put them in, and then I run tape on the outside of the envelope, packing tape along the ends here and along the ends here, because these ends can be a little sharp and can tear that plastic envelope up. But it gets it out first class, saving us money. And again, I sold 2 of these. One was different than the other, didn't look exactly like this, and I made sure I stated it in my description and up here too, so people know that they're not getting the same one. Okay. Another consignment item, not a big dollar item. But hey, it's gone. It actually sat in my store for a while. I actually forgot it was there. I've sold a lot of thermoses in my day. These are pretty good. This one sells good. The other green ones sell even better, even if they're dented. People love these things for some reason. Just make sure what I do is I make sure I take all kinds of photos. If there's any damage, the model number, the patent number. I make sure I take a picture of the inside of the lid. I do my best. I should have used my flash on this. I did not. To take a picture of the inside to make sure that there's no dirt or anything. I clean them out, obviously, if they're dirty, but I don't spend a lot of time cleaning them out. If they're filthy, I usually just throw them away because I get it for just about nothing. I show any kind of damage I saw. The label was coming off a little bit. So not bad. I got half of that. It was a quick ship. It wasn't a quick sale, but it was a quick ship. Right into several of the, I telescoped 3 of the small post office boxes, the square ones, I forget what they call them. I telescoped 3 of them and it went priority. And I think it went for under $8.99. I cannot remember. Sometimes my shipping brain calculator isn't always correct, but most of the time I make a little bit of money on shipping. Sometimes I don't. So it all comes out in the end. It's no big deal. Oops, sorry. This is something I found in my cable box in the garage. An old lawnmower power for the self-propelled. It's for a front wheel self-propelled lawnmower, an old one. I made sure fits. Cable seems to work fine, but really don't know how long it will last. And I made sure any damage I showed, that's fine, that's the back of it. I showed the end connector or the end spring. I showed the cable number, so they have that. And I showed any damage on the cable, and it's cracked a little bit. But the cable worked fine. I just wanted to be clear. These cables, you don't know how long they're going to last. It could last another 5 years. Could last the first pull, it breaks. I stated that in my listing, but don't really know how long it will last. It is used. So just got to cover yourself sometimes. Same thing here. This is another one I sold from the same listing. Like I said, picture number 2, show the worst of it, angle it even so it looks worse than it really is. So they think they're getting it like this, but then when they get it, it looks better than what they think they're getting. So that was like I said, these, I got to get more of these. I don't know where, but I got to find more mowers with these things on them, with these covers on them. Oh boy, what a story here. This is a wonderful Lawn Boy magnesium aluminum body. 5 years ago, I couldn't keep these things. I was selling them so fast. I don't know what happened. I'm surprised. This one was in my store for, I'll bet you, 2 years. I lowered the price, lowered the price, lowered the price. Somebody finally bought it. And you might think, wow, that's a lot of money for shipping. FedEx ground just about cost me $27. It took me about 15 minutes to pack this thing. I just got a big piece of cardboard. I got a big box, cut it open, and just rolled it in that box and taped the ends, taped the ends, taped the ends. It looked pretty bad, to be honest with you. It was not one of my best Frankenstein box jobs. I even told the guy at FedEx when I walked in, he goes, ugh. I went, yeah, it's not one of my better jobs, sorry, but it'll get there. It was only going to Virginia. I'm in North Carolina, and he got it within a day and a half. So that's good. And he seems to be happy with it. Haven't heard anything back. So I'm surprised. I've got like 3 or 4 more of these bodies sitting in my garage, decks, bodies, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I might just list them for a little bit and see what happens. I should list them because it's the season. Okay, I sold this last week. Upfront and honest here, I made a huge mistake in shipping. I should have done this calculated. Handle may be dismantled. I dismantled it. I got it down to 30 inches, I think, 30 by 7 by 7. Got it all into a box. And it was going to a P.O. box. First time buyer, either came as a guest or was first time buyer on eBay. I sent them messages for 2 days asking for an address without a P.O. box so I could ship it FedEx. Because FedEx would have been a lot cheaper. It's going to Arkansas. Waited 2 days. Heard nothing. I thought, screw it. I'm just going to ship it out and take the loss. Cost me $26 to ship it out. I made $6 on this. Hey, live and learn. What can I say? I messed up, but it happens. Just being upfront and honest. Watch your shipping. Watch what you're charging. I should have done calculated. I should have weighed it, measured it, and everything else. Again, sorry for the noise. Sorry for the loud music here too. As soon as it's getting louder. On certain things, you really should do calculated. And just let it go, so you don't make too much money on shipping that way. But still, it'll be correct. Okay, this is one of the parts that came off of that Troy-Bilt trimmer I showed you a while back for the coil. So see, it took me 20 minutes to take it apart. I've already made between the coil and this, $30 probably, and I sold something else, a flywheel, I think, off of this, so maybe $40-50. So it's okay. I'll sit in my garage and do that. I enjoy parting out things. Keeps me at home, keeps me around. I'm not running around. To me, I'm not running around thrifting, running around thrift stores. I really don't like doing that all the time. So that's not bad. And there's another one we sold. So not bad. A little bit higher because these were going for a higher price. So sold it pretty quick. Okay, this was my son's radio out of his car that he kissed a tree with, just slightly. He was okay, just whatever. Did that last year this time. Took me a while to find the head, because he said he had it in his other car. We searched and finally found it. This has been in my store for probably about 6 months. Got all sorts of weird offers. Oh, I'll give you $10. I'll give you $20. Now I can get $75 for the head alone. Waited. Finally sold it full price the other day. Shipped it out. Hopefully everything's okay. It'll be fine. It was working when my son had it. I used it a couple times in this car. It seemed to work fine. Let's hope there's no issues with it, and we'll just go from there. But that was a good sale. A bread and butter item. I saw these all the time when I got them in stock. These I saw all the time. Covers. Hey, I'm going to change my air filter on my lawnmower. Let me lay this down here and lose it, or run it over with the lawnmower, or whatever. So I sell these. These are quick ships, quick sales. Don't make a whole lot of money off of them, but real quick to take off, real quick to ship. So I sell those all day long. Last item, sold just the other day. A Dyson vacuum cleaner part. Bought 2 Dysons at our development garage sale last year. For one was $20, one was $10, and I sold enough parts off of them. I quadrupled, more than that, my profits. Sold the motors, sold the canisters, sold one of the hoses. Probably made $300-400 off of these 2 vacuum cleaners, and I still got tons of parts left. They are slow sales. They'll sit there for a while. But hey, that's good. It worked out. Well, that is about it. Sorry for the length of this video this time. I was just taking too long, I think. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Just leave me a message here through YouTube. Thank you again for watching. Again, I'm Paul Apollonian, and I eBay seller. since like 2007. Seriously, I do consignment. I also do eBay training through Lifelong Learning in Wake County. I also do private training sessions. And I also do the eBay Meetup Group, the Raleigh eBay Meetup Group. We meet every second Thursday of the month at the Panera on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. There's 3 Paneras on Glenwood, not the one down at the mall and not the one at Briar Creek. The one right next to the Golden Corral. Great group of people, mixture of all kinds of sellers, not just eBay, Amazon, Shopify people show up. It's really, really a great group. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. And if you like this video, please smash that little like button for me. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.